Hello, everybody. Good morning. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning here on January 7th, 2023. It is Saturday morning, and I'm here to do a little bit of an update on Binance Coin, on Ethereum, and on Solana. So, be ready because we've got some interesting information coming here. Before I get into all of this, as you all know, this is not financial advice, and I am not your financial advisor. You're responsible for your own trades, managing your own risk, doing your own research, and I'm just giving my opinion on the market. So let's go ahead and move right on into the chart. I'm sitting here looking at Ethereum, and so far this is what we're dealing with. We saw a nice move, a nice rally from back here in the middle of June, going into August 17th. Again, this kind of matched that same period in the stock market when we saw a decent rally off of the lows here. And, from there, we saw some resistance, right at the $2,000 mark. And so what I actually would like to do, I want to take a look at this from a liquidity standpoint because we've got a pretty liquid market in Ethereum, but what I do want to kind of focus on here is where we've got some prior support, which is going to be resistance, and also taking a look at it in terms of where overhead resistance is going to be as we move up into potentially some new highs. So now what I see here, we've got a nice three-wave structure going down, and I think we're actually going to be in a WXY correction, which is basically going to look a little bit like this. So we've got a nice three-wave move down into a W, and then we're looking for an X, right? So we'll put this up here, and then we're going to be looking for that last final move to go down into a Y. All right, so let me just change the color of this so that it's a lot easier to see, because I believe this is probably more likely going to be what the market actually looks like. I'm going to zoom in here in just a second. I just wanted to kind of get my my overall view out there just so that you can all kind of see that. So we've got, again, a 1, 2, 3, which matched this 2618, almost exactly. It didn't quite get there, but it was pretty close. I think we can call that a good move up to the 2618, all the way up at almost $4,900. So we've got a nice one correction here into the 2, and then again, we've got a little 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 3, and then a 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the completion of this wave 3 that I've got up here. So now that we've kind of talked about that, let's go down to a 4-hour time frame, and I want to talk a little bit about this correction that we've seen right here. And I think what we've got here is very corrective pattern here going into this W. This is not the bottom, though, just to be clear. This isn't the bottom. Now, that doesn't mean we are not going to have any significant upside. I actually believe we are going to see some significant upside on Ethereum, right? Let's take a fib pull on this. We've got this dominant pivot low. We've got this dominant pivot high right here. Let's go ahead and move that over. How far down did we go? Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and do it this way. Pull this over here, and I'm going to make sure that I've got this on log scale. All right, so we saw a move down into this 618, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We kind of hung out here in the golden zone for a little bit, all right? And then we've just recently started to move up and out of it. So, things, again, are still looking pretty corrective, and I've got really no reason to believe that we are not in a corrective pattern at the moment here. So let's go ahead and kind of try and make a determination on where things are going to be going now. All right, so what I want to look at here is the fact that we do have a contender for a 1, 2, and then we've got a 3, 4, and then a 5. So it looks to me like we've got 5 waves up. And from here, you can kind of know they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not going to get into the subdivision so much as I am going to be looking at, from up there, we've got a little A, B, and then we've got a C to complete another move right here. All right, so now what do we have? Well, we've got this chop that we've been dealing with. And let's just talk about liquidity zones here for just a moment. We've got this low right here, which is going to be creating some resistance. And we've got this range that we've been in. And we're currently inside of this range right now. So if we can get up above about 14.25, I think that does open the door to go up to higher prices. But I do think it's going to take some time. All right, so let's get our trend-based fib time tool, and let's go ahead and pin how long did it take to complete this move, and then go all the way down here to the bottom. So we're basically at the 100% equality right now, but I do think that it's actually going to take a little bit more time than it did previously. Let's go ahead and put that 2 on there. We're going all the way into March. Okay, so going into March, I believe we're going to be putting in this wave X. Okay, so I'm going to remove my trend-based fib time now that we know where this is coming from. And let's just go ahead, if we've got a 5 and then a 3, which is going to basically be an A and a B, we're going to be looking for that wave C to complete. Again, I'm going to change the degree on this. It's a little bit higher, right? So we're going to have this A, B, C potentially in the making here. That's going to go again all the way into March. And again, crypto has been acting, and it's been doing this for almost the entire year. Crypto has been kind of holding steady while equity markets have been drawing down. So there is a little bit of a divergence there, which is one of the reasons why I'm willing to look at this from this perspective. All right, so from this low, a little 1, 2, we're looking for this, looking for a strong wave 3, 4, 5 on Ethereum. But for the duration of 2023, I believe $2,500 is going to be the ceiling. I don't think it's going to go much higher than that this year. Let's go ahead and go back here. We're going to take a look again at liquidity zones. And so we've got some resistance right here. We've got some resistance right here. And again, right here. Lots of support right here. So let's just talk about this here. This area is going to basically be where I believe we're going to see some significant resistance. And again, that's going to be right here at around the $2,500 range. All right, so what does that mean? We're at $1,200 right now. So this means, can I double my money this year? I think it's possible that Ethereum could go up 100% from where it is roughly right now. Again, we're probably going to see another little bit of a pullback. It could be that we see the wave 2 come down here before we see a strong move up. And I would actually favor that if we were to see something like this. Excuse me. I do believe Ethereum is going to be a lot stronger compared to some other alts, which I'm going to talk about here in just a moment. So let's go ahead and take a look at Solana. So on Solana, I think we've got a similar situation going on here. I'm on a 12-hour time frame, and we do see signs of warning. We do see signs that we've got some significant bearish divergence here. I think Solana is basically done with its move. Maybe it has just a little bit more to go, but from Solana's standpoint, when I look at this, I'm looking at the pattern that we've got going on here from these lows. So let's just go ahead and maybe dig in just a little bit more. I'm on a 12-hour time frame. Let's go to an hourly, and let's just take a look at this structure. So looking at this, again, from the bottom, I can count a 1 and a 2, and then we're looking for that wave 3. So again, from here, we've got a nice little 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 3, and then this 4. I think we've got one more push. But I don't think it's going to go much beyond maybe $15 at this point. You can see here, we did a video on Solana all the way back here on December 21st, and I said at the time it's probably going to go down to $7.86. It went down to $8 exactly, and we've seen a significant rally off of that. So if you were paying attention during that video, I mean, that's like a 70-some% return that was made off of Solana so far. Now that we're here, my projections to the upside, again, they have changed quite a bit. I really only think we're going to see a move up to potentially $15 here. And most of the reasons for that is the fact that we've got significant overhead resistance right here at this level. So right here, and it happens to be exactly at $15. We saw a top here, 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 And I have no reason to believe that this next time that we hit this, that we're going to see another top. You know, for the next several hours, Solana is probably going to see a little bit of upside. But after we get this move to the upside, we're going to get a retrace, right? So if this is what I think it is, more than likely we're going to be working on this A, and then we're going to go in for a B, probably going to come back down here to about $11, and then we're going to see that move up going into potentially that March timeframe that we were discussing, and it could be that we've got a 3, 3, and then 5 to complete that move up. So the structure that it makes going forward, we don't know, right? Time has not passed yet. But for right now, this looks again like a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 3, ABC here into the 4. The 4 may not be in. We may have a little bit more time to grind here. But ultimately, as long as we maintain prices above this level here at about $12, then the bull case is, it's still intact. $11.87, $12 in that area. As long as we maintain prices above that, I believe we can get to our target up here at about $15 before we see a more significant pullback. So now that we've talked about Solana and that we've talked about Ethereum, let's talk a little bit about Binance. So I've been talking about Binance Coin for several weeks now, how I'm a little bearish on Binance. So let me see if I've got it right here. As we've been looking at Binance, from a long-term perspective, we saw that significant move to the upside. And we've really, let me just go ahead and clear this out because it doesn't look like it. This is the chart that I was using. We've got a floor right here. All right, this floor is at about $220. And then the other thing that we've got this declining trend line. And, we could grind here for just a little bit longer, but there is one more thing that I do want to point out. And what I want to point out is the fact that the Bitcoin trading pair does not look all that great. Let me go ahead and put a channel on this just in case we do see a little bit of a channel move on this. So there's our median is the green line. So, if we do break down out of this, and I actually think that we will, it might take a little bit of time. We could poke around here for a little bit. But if we do happen to see an extended move down here into May, right, watch to see what happens on the retrace here, because we could see that more sustained and significant move down. Now, is Binance Coin going to go back to $32? I'm not going to say that right now. But I am going to say that it is very possible that we do see a move down to close to $100. And that would be more than a 50% drop from where we're at right now. Now, let me give you a little bit of evidence. Okay, so I'm going to take a look at Binance Coin versus Bitcoin, which a lot of people fail to pay attention to. This is important. This is very important. I'm going to take a look at it on the weekly. Okay, and I'm going to try and compare this to what Bitcoin looked like in April of 2021, May of 2021. People were talking about it, but they were ignoring it. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to add the RSI on here. And I don't really look at the RSI very often, but there is pretty significant bearish divergence here on Binance Coin. From this high right here to this high right here, we have a new high. And then if we take a look at this, from this high right here to this high right here, we've got a new low. That's not great. So there is some, what I'll refer to as significant bearish divergence here on Binance Coin. And the other thing that I'll point out is the RSI has kind of had a little bit of a floor here at 50. So watching this, and again, it's going to take some time. We could see a little bit of a pop here, but watch to see what happens in the coming months, because we could see a significant and sustained move down going into the end of 2023. Nobody is bearish on Binance at all. Everybody thinks that Binance is the rulers of the universe and they are going to save everybody. And you know what? They're a good exchange for the time being. I have no reason to believe otherwise. But the signs are here, technically speaking, that we could be seeing a more bearish move in the future. So I'm going to maintain my bearish stance on Binance Coin. So if we take a look at Bitcoin dominance, this is going to be the last thing that I discuss here. We were talking about this zone right here. Let me go ahead and remove this guy for right now. We've been talking about this zone here where we've just been kind of chopping. When you see a move down, well, this is where alts go up. But we are going to see in the coming weeks, a time when Bitcoin does take over. And I think when that happens, Ethereum is going to go with it because it's a strong altcoin. I don't think that there are, many other alts that are going to move. You're not going to be gaining alpha by sitting in an altcoin than you would be sitting in Bitcoin for most alts. Solana, I don't think is going to perform as well as Bitcoin does. Ethereum, I think it may perform better than Bitcoin does. Even Litecoin, I think Litecoin will perform better than Bitcoin does. Cardano, I think it will. And again, there will be others that do perform better than Bitcoin when Bitcoin dominance does increase. Watch the Bitcoin trading pair because that is what a lot of people fail to pay attention to. So that's basically it. That's basically it in a nutshell. We've got we got Ethereum, we've got Solana, we've got Binance. I'm somewhat bullish on Solana. I'm pretty bearish on Binance Coin. I'm somewhat bullish on Ethereum right now, but again, I think Ethereum's ceiling is going to be somewhere around $2,500 based on the technicals. If Bitcoin dominance does happen to take off and go up and out of here, I think it's probably only going to go as high as maybe 50 to 53% before we see a huge altcoin boom going into the end of the year. So something like this is more than likely going to be what happens. This 50% mark, that's going to be our 382 of this move. And so it would make a whole lot of sense if this were to be what happened. And this is the alt season you want to be part of because it is basically exactly what happened right here. We saw that move up and then a huge move down, right? So here we're going to get this move up and then a big move down. And likely it's going to be going into the end of this year where altcoins are going to actually perform better. But I think we have to give Bitcoin time to make whatever move it's going to make. Looking at Bitcoin dominance, we were talking about the squeeze indicator right here. We're in a pretty tight weekly squeeze at the moment. And we really haven't seen something like this for this sustained amount of time since all the way back here, right, when we saw this move up and then we saw a significant move down. So again, we could be seeing this move up where Bitcoin kind of takes over for a little while, and then we see the altcoins finally do what we kind of expect them to do. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. If this video did help you in any way, shape, or form, you know the deal. Like, subscribe, share. If you need access to our Discord, if you need access to our education, our trades, our content, you can find all of that information on BitDoctor.org. And if you need access to our Wavemaster indicator, our volume indicator, you can find all of that information on BitDoctor.org as well. And of course, last but not least, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a good day, good night, and a good evening. Take care, everyone.